Recently, there's been a lot of talk about black fatigue, and the original definition was in favor of black people tired of systemic racism from the dominant white society. But now what we've seen is whites have flipped that narrative to fit their own justifications of being tired of black violence, black crime, and everything black people are doing negatively to affect even the lives of white people in the United States of America. Some blacks have also commented on their frustration with black fatigue as far as black on black crime is concerned. And another popular black creator who's giving his idea on the subject is none other than Anton Daniels. Now, I know Anton Daniels as a creator. I've spoken with him on the phone, and I can honestly say that now he's a much better YouTuber than me. And another person who is bigger than me on this platform is Tariq Nasheed. Both of these guys command different audiences, although predominantly black audiences. Tariq Nasheed has been around for many years, and Anton Daniels is kind of on his way up. Tariq Nasheed holds the dominant society accountable for racism and also focuses on restoring the cultural values of what he considers it to be hashtag FBA, aka the former African American or historical Negro community, while Anton Daniels holds blacks accountable for their own mistakes. Now, Anton Daniels can be seen as an individual that is doing things to get a larger white audience. He's appeared on Dr. Phil, he's appeared on Fox News, and he would seem that although his audience is predominantly black, he might be a person that is saying things about the black community that some of the whites want to hear but are afraid to say. And he ruffles feathers by saying some very, very interesting things.
With Americans, but specifically, let's just talk about black people, because I noticed this thing, black people don't really unite until they can find a European enemy. Black immigrants don't respect people that are traditionally born in America, especially black people that were born in America. They work relentlessly, eat, sleep, grind, hustle, and go and get it. So when they finally get over into America and they see the opportunities that's presented to them over there, it ain't nothing that Americans can do. You trying to figure out how to work 40 hours and then go to sleep, and you can't even wake up in order to get to your job that you work from home for. You can't even make the meeting on time.
Now, this is one of his most popular clips in which he's talking about how immigrants are really taking over positions in America, especially from blacks. And he names two categories of immigrants. Africans and Caribbeans, okay? These people are coming over from third world nations, while African Americans tend to be apathetic, hashtag FBA. And so these are the people that are beating blacks to the punch while blacks are complaining and not doing very much. Then he made a very controversial statement about this.
I have no sympathy for anybody. You get what you deserve. Wherever it is that you are in life, that's your bed, sleep in it. I don't care where you were born. I don't care where you come from. I see immigrants coming over here every day from third world countries, outworking you, outpacing you, and making you look bad. I don't care about your reparations. Listen, I don't care if you ever get it. As a matter of fact, I'm advocating against it because it's going to up my dollar and make inflation go out of control. And so I don't want them to pay you. I don't want you to have nothing. Don't give these motherfuckers nothing. As a matter of fact, not only do I not want you to get nothing from reparations, I think that they should tax you for breathing.
Now, he said here that reparations is something that even blacks don't deserve. And I remember when this first came out, it was a big statement. Everybody was talking about it, and many folks don't agree, including myself, right? And I've talked to Anton Daniels privately because I do know him about some of these things we're talking about today. But this next video is even more important.
And then we had the panel on Monday night where I basically said that white people are starting to get fed up, and that is the whole premise behind black fatigue, is that nobody wants you to continue to play victim for the rest of your life. They tired of being held accountable for things that their ancestors did. They tired of you blaming all of your failures and the things that you weren't able to accomplish on white people. They're tired of you sitting there saying that you're a victim every single day, regardless of what your circumstance is, regardless of what you've been given.
So he talks about black fatigue, and here he was reacting to a video, which is his more primary mechanism of content delivery now. And he's saying, listen, the lady on the screen that was talking, all these blacks are making mistakes, and it makes it more difficult for me when I go outside because now I'm judged along with the rest of you, and that's messing up my image, and I'm also tired of that, okay? And I think to certain points, many of us as African Americans have felt at least that way maybe once or twice in our life. I remember one time, again, I used to work at a pretty large corporation, and somebody gave me the comment that, oh, you're not like the other blacks that I know. And I was young and didn't know any better and took that as some level of compliment. Didn't know that was disrespectful until I got a little bit older. But something happened on Tariq Nasheed's show one night. A caller called in and asked a particular question.
Hey, do you know Anton Daniels?
Tariq Nasheed then responds with this answer.
No, I kind of seen like some thumbnails of him or whatever. I haven't really watched this joint though.
Is he a tether?
I think he is. I think he is.
Man,
I think he is because I know he said some little slick shit about me, which he's just clout chasing. But
he's a tether, or he a Jesse Lee Peterson nephew or something.
Yeah, but I think he's like a secret tether because some of just his vibe and some of the little slick shit. But yeah, and I'm not trying to give him no clout, but yeah, I think he's a tether. Yeah, I think and we got a lot of that. We got a lot of these little undercover tethers out here. We got a lot of them, family. That's the thing. We got a lot of these undercover tethers. When you start seeing people, because I know that dude was talking against reparations, and he also was talking about how, I saw a clip where he was talking about how immigrants work so harder than us, and that's tether.
He then also says this.
When you hear people talk about, how immigrants come over and do so well, when you hear somebody going with that narrative, that's tether talk. Yeah.
Now, Tariq Nasheed says that Anton Daniels is a tether. From what I understand, Anton Daniels is #FBA. He's from Detroit, Michigan, and he's been from that area for a long time. But the question is, does Anton Daniels have valid points about the behavior of people in our community? The answer is yes, right? We got to be honest. There are things that Anton Daniels talks about that are definitely uncomfortable truths about African Americans, okay? Now, here's the issue that people will have with somebody like Anton Daniels. It's the overexhaustion of criticism coming from him, which what people will believe that the reason why he's doing it is because he's trying to clickbait somebody, or he's speaking on the behalf of other people, a larger, broader audience, or he has some level of intention on doing so, right? Which that I can't prove as to what his real intention is. I just know that he has these, I just know this is his content style. It's always been like that. But on the other hand, is a brother like Tariq Nasheed important? Absolutely. Tariq Nasheed will point out the historical situations that whites have caused towards blacks, and that white people cannot absolve themselves from the things that they have done to blacks, and a lot of the things that whites have done to blacks because of the environments that whites have created for blacks to live in. And we can see that this is everywhere where slavery or some level of apartheid system was, okay, or is, okay? Let's look at South Africa. South Africa did not have slavery, but they have some level of apartheid. Mind games, treating blacks bad, dehumanizing them. After the whites have not lived in the country, the psychological damages and effects are there, all right? And South Africa is one of the most dangerous countries on planet Earth with a lot of black on black crime. We can look at Black Brazil. Is it the same there? It's probably even worse. All of that psychological damage caused, and you see black Brazilians at the bottom with a lot of self-hatred, if you want to call it like that. It is a part of that system. The United States is similar, okay? So on 3 different continents, we see 3 different situations, but similar, not necessarily the same, and blacks behaving in similar values. Now, I understand that we need to hold each other accountable, which Anton Daniels talks about, and that's needed. But also at the same time, understanding the other part of ourselves and who also created that is also powerful. So who's right with Tariq Nasheed and Anton Daniels? To be honest, they're both right, okay? And that's where the issue is. On one hand, if you're Tariq Nasheed, people will call you a grifter. That's what they're gonna say. All you do is talk about the white man. All you do is talk about this or that. right? Like you're just basically pimping the community or whatever. Anybody who talks real black like that, it could be him, it could be people like Dr. Umar or myself, Jason Black. Anytime you're telling the truth about what happened to black people, then you are a grifter and then you're a race baiter. Then if you're Anton Daniels or Jason Whitlock or people who have harsh commentary about blacks and what blacks do, or even like Candace Owens, then you're a race traitor, because all you do is do this so that you can continuously bash blacks to get a bag or to get views or to get whatever the case is, and you never criticize the white man, quote unquote. But to be honest, I've been called both. I've been called a race baiter. I've been called a race traitor. And the reality is, one part that is missing from us and the black community is the extreme levels of accountability. We do have to be accountable to each other, but we also didn't get to where we're at by ourselves. And that's the one thing that whites want to absolve themselves from, because, oh my God, we're tired of this happening. We're tired of you guys blaming whatever happened to you guys. Okay, it's over now. It happened a long time ago. But the whites today still benefit about what happened many, many years ago, right? And at the same time, we have the ability to fix many of our own problems with our own solutions. We're not helpless and we're not defenseless. And both guys represent a side that people like to listen to or don't. And to be honest, judging at face value, both messages to a certain degree are needed. I can disagree with certain elements about reparations. I can disagree about certain other things. Ultimately, it's a tale of two tapes, and however you want your content delivered to you, it's okay. But ultimately, what I honestly feel is that black people can solve 99% of their problems almost overnight if we are just accountable to each other. While I do believe that white people in the systems can be against blacks, I do feel that black people have more talent than what the system can do to hold against you. And I believe that both of these brothers would agree to that particular statement. But I would just ask you, who do you think has the best message out of these two? I mean, when you talk about black fatigue, and then we understand where Tariq would be, where Anton Daniels would be, which person would you consider to be right? And I want to give a big shout out to a brother that gave me the idea for this video. Drummer 1980, he made a video called Tariq Nasheed Said This About Anton Daniels, and I watched a little bit of it. So I decided to derive my own rendition. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.